Hi and welcome to the Power YouTube channel. In this video we're going to talk about how to set parameters to your query so that every time a user opens a Power BI template file, he gets prompted to parameterize the query to only import a certain range of your data set when importing and refreshing the data. This allows you to deal with very large data sets, enterprise scale, big data, scale datasets or semantic models in your Power BI service, yet still have the end users be able to work with a Power BI desktop report on import mode by just querying the data that they need to develop the report. Thank you very much for watching and please subscribe for more. Okay, so let's go through the process. So this is a 6-step process to be able to implement the solution. We will start by creating a list from a column or field that we choose from our query. So for example, our fact table or dimension table. Then we transform that into a list with distinct values in a separate query. Then we create a parameter from this query. So we do this all in the query editor. And then we filter that dimension table to equal that parameter. We can also do some further transformations then if we want. And then what we need to do is inner join that dimension to the fact table, which will in turn also filter the fact table when the dimension table gets filtered by the parameter. So we parameterize the dimension table, which through the inner join will then limit or filter the fact table. And then we save this as a PBIT file, and then I will show you what it looks like when someone opens this PBIT file. Okay, so I am in the Power BI query editor, and as you can see here, I have a fact internet sales table, and I have a dimension product table as well. This comes from, I think, the AdventureWorks database. So what we have to do now, as the first step, as I mentioned earlier, is create a list from this query. So all we have to do is duplicate this query, call this list for example, and then we choose a column that we want to filter. Oh sorry, my bad, actually let's delete this. I have to duplicate the dimension product because that's the one I want to use as a filter. So let's duplicate the dimension product, let's call this list. And I want to have the product subcategory as a parameter. So I'm going to click this and then I can click remove other columns. So it will just keep this column. Then I remove empty. So remove the null or the empty values. So we transform this a little bit. And then we will click remove rows and then also remove duplicates. Yeah? This way we have a unique list of values. Right, the next thing that we need to do is convert this to a list. And to do this we have to click the transform section in the prompt, and then we should see here a convert list button. So let's click this convert to list, and now it created a list out of this. Yeah. So this list now contains list, so we would put list and subcat, so we know that it's the subcategory. And then let's go into the home button again in the home ribbon, and we can click manage parameters. So we click manage parameters. And we create a new one, and we call this p_subcat, and then type can be any, doesn't really matter, but what matters here is that we choose query. Yeah, that's really important that we choose this query here. I don't know if you can see this properly here, this query from the suggested values. And then in the query, now we get to choose the list, yeah? So you can see here that from this, we actually got the option to get the list. If you don't create a list, you won't be able to see this. And then the current value, we can, I don't know, set 18, yeah? So this is just an example. Let's set it to 18. Click OK. And you can see that it created a parameter for us. Yeah, so now we have a dimension table, a fact table, a list, and a parameter. So the second step, or the third step now, is to filter our dimension product key. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is, obviously, I need to clean this up a bit. So remove empty. Let's just do basic transformation. So this looks good already. And then I'm going to put a number filter for the subcategory, because this is the parameter that we set. We put equals. And then here we have parameter, right? And now you can see it already created subcat. And check this out. If we click advanced, we can put or, yeah, and we can put two parameters. So we can even prompt the user to put two parameters as well, or more, yeah. So I'm just showing you that this is quite powerful. You'll see in the end why. So now we have this filter rows. Okay, you can see it's already 18, and then I need to do something a little bit unorthodox. I need to replace this value because my fact internet sales is not complete. So I will just replace a value 459 by 214. Yeah, so just ignore this, what I'm doing. Okay. And then, so we now have three product key values. You can see that subcategory is filtered. And now, obviously, our fact table is not filtered at all. Yeah, so we have to do something here. What we have to do, it's pretty simple, is create an inner join. Okay, so if you're not familiar, I left out a join. Joins from the left table, the right table that joins using a key. All the values that match, including null values, etc., or more values. So it might duplicate rows if there are more values found from the right table to the left table. The other way around, a full outer join joins everything together from both tables, but an inner join only filters down to matching values. So if I create an inner join between this fact and dimension table, it will filter the fact table to the product keys that are found in the product table only. Yeah, so you will not see anything else. That's just a quick way around to do this. I guess I could do some other fancy stuff, but this is just the easiest. So I click merge queries, and then I select this dimension, and I do an inner join, and you will see here, yeah, only says already only matching rows will be filtered, and we use the product key, and I don't want the fuzzy matching, so let's do this. Okay, and now I have to expand this for this to actually work, and I will just, I don't know, select product key, so I just want a single column from this. Yeah, so now you see dim product key, and then what you can do then is drop these two tables. Yeah, so again, just select the whole table. This is just the best practice, and then click remove other columns. Okay, and then it should still be filtered. Yeah, you still see everything here, product key, etc. Okay, and that's it. We click close and apply. Right, so this is all prepared. It will now refresh the data, so it will take a second. Let's see, it's syncing up with the database. You can see here that I'm using a Fabric Lakehouse. It could be that it breaks this now, but apparently not. Okay, I've already prepared this. So on the right hand side, you can see the dimension. And on the left hand side, I don't need two. I guess I just need one. You can see the fact table. And you can see here now that this is filtered already to product subcategory 18. Yeah. Now, of course, I cannot delete this category, this product category value, right? So if I want to save this, so let's click cancel. If I now want to save this, I should save it as, I can save it as a PBIX file. Of course, it will already be limited to that query amount. So we're not able to have the full data range in this case. But when I click save and I click save as, I click browse this device. Here at the bottom, right here, save as, you can select you have three options. Yeah, and I want the Power BI template file. Okay, so let's select the Power BI template file. And I'm going to save this in my location. So I just choose a location. Just give me a second to find it. Okay. And I will save this as a PBIT file. Homepage as a PBIX file. Let's go ahead and open this PBIT file. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so here in my location, you can now see that I have this PBIT file. Yeah, if I expand this, you can see here that it's called Power BI Desktop Template. Yeah. So now, if I would send this to someone to create a report as a self-service user, they would open this up. Yeah, and what would happen if they would open this up? I suppose what the idea is that they get prompted to enter a parameter value. And this PBIT file you saw, it's 21 kilobytes. Okay, so this is only metadata. There's no actual data loaded into this report. So now what should happen is similar to SAP or anything like that. We should be prompted to limit our parameters. So let's see what this does. Okay, so guess it's still loading. Yeah, it's still loading. Okay, so you see now it's querying the list that we have in the background. Yeah, so you can see it's evaluating. So we get the drop down and check out this. We have our parameter subcategory that we can select. Yeah. So now imagine that, of course, in this example, I'm only showing you one value, but you can have like many parameters here. Yeah. So you can do all kinds of parameterization on your model. So now I choose this parameter, and then you can click edit or load. Yeah, so I click load, and now as a self-service developer, I'm now querying a large semantic model, but I'm only getting a subset of the data. Okay, and I got my replace data was blocking this, so I now just have to click apply changes again. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. And now it should work. Okay, should be fine. Okay, perfect. And now you can see that also it says here some tables have incomplete data. So refresh now. Let me just refresh this. Okay, and now you can see it's been refreshed. Okay, and you can also see that I opened this as a template. Yeah, so this in fact is not saved as a now I have a PBIX file. With the data loaded into it, not just the metadata, and now it's asking me, now I need to save it, right? If I want to save it now, I have to save it as a PBIX file. That we now have limited data. We have a window of our data in import mode, yeah? And I can now, of course, while I'm working with this, change this, yeah? So I can click transform data, edit parameters, yeah, and I can change this. I can now change the window. So let's say I wanted to work, let me just give you an example, right? I wanted to query only the March 2025 data. And I did that, I built a report and I saved it as a March report. But now I'm in the next month and I want the same thing, but I don't want to load the entire year. I take the same report, I change the parameter to April 2025, and then I save it as April report. And it's very quick. I only queried the time frame of data that I needed. I never needed to query the entire semantic model. I never needed to import a lot of data. I don't have a heavy report, and I can publish this or overwrite this in my location in the service. So this is a super powerful way and quick way to share reports in a lightweight manner. Okay, and that's it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and share and comment as you please. Thank you very much.